guys, it's Jessica with Southern Sparrow, and you've made it to episode 4 of our Mahj 101 video series. You are ready to set up for a game of Mahjong and deal out these tiles. So let's learn about that. What do you need to play Mahjong? You need 4 racks. They come in a set of 4. I like the racks with the hinged pushers. I think it just makes things easier. Racks with pushers. Each player will have a rack in front of them when you set up, and the sloped side of that rack will face out to the player. You have your pusher side facing into the middle of the table. You're going to build walls. So you're going to stack the tiles 2 tiles tall, and you're going to stack them along the front of your pusher on your rack, and you will stack 19 stacks. Remember, we're playing following the National Mahjong League rules, which means you play with 152 tiles. Now, a common house rule is to include those 6 blanks and those 2 extra jokers, which would mean that you would be playing with 160 tiles. That would mean that you would have 1 extra stack here. But for this series, we're playing with 19 stacks of 2 tiles high set up in a wall in front of your rack. And then you will need a National Mahjong League card for each player at the table. So 4 National Mahjong League cards. You can have all 4 of those if you're the hostess, or you can have your friends bring their card every time they come to play. Either one is totally fine and acceptable. So I've gone ahead and built our walls here. If this were a real game and I had my 3 other players, everyone at the table would build walls. You would shuffle up these tiles in the middle, everything would get shuffled up, and we would all build out our walls like this. So just 2 at a time, we're stacking and we're putting them in front of the rack. Let's talk about what these walls are. Now, a lot of new players will say, okay, so these are my tiles for the game. No, the wall is simply a communal draw pile. So similar to if we were playing Uno and we had that stack of cards in the middle that everyone draws from, that's what these walls are. But because it's a tile game, this is a more elegant way of placing them into these walls here around the table. Each wall will get pushed out in its turn, and then all of the players will draw in order from a single wall until that wall is gone, and then the next wall will get pushed out. Okay, so that's what the walls are. You will also, when you're playing Mahjong, need a set of dice. And the dice are only used at the very beginning of the game. So they are used to determine who is the east seat. The east seat is just Mahjong's name for the dealer or the person who starts the game. And then the dice are used again to show us where we break the wall. So breaking the wall is just like if you're used to playing cards, it's just like cutting the deck. It's allowing some randomization to enter in once everything has been set up so that you know that the dealer is not stacking the deck or stacking the walls with the tiles that they need. So if you're going to someone's house, typically the east seat for the first game will be the hostess. Whoever's home you're in, she will have the right to be the east seat first, and then east will pass to the right around the table. So each player at the table will have an opportunity to deal. If your hostess doesn't care to be the first east seat, or if you're playing in a tournament or you're playing out at, a restaurant or something, or in a league, then every player at the table will roll the dice, and whoever gets the highest roll becomes the east seat first. So then the east seat will roll the dice again. I've rolled a 4, and that just tells me where to break the wall. So I will count from the right-hand side of my wall. I will count 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do like to keep the dice on top. That just shows me where the end of the wall is. So I'm going to slide my rack over, and I'm going to break the wall by pushing out that section of the wall after the dice. And this becomes now the very last part of our wall. So the wall, as we play this game, will go around in this direction, and if we arrive back here at the very bottom tile and no one has won, then it's called a wall game, meaning none of the players win, the wall wins, it's time to shuffle up and start again. So I've broken my wall. Again, if we were following National Mahjong League rules, which we are in this video series, if I had 3 more players, each player would be responsible for self-picking their own tiles. All that means is that each player takes their own tiles during the deal. But a very common house rule or table rule is to have the east seat or the dealer give out all of the tiles. It does just allow in a social play environment for everybody to have a chance to chat or go refill drinks or go to the restroom between games, etc. So you can play either way. The pattern for dealing is exactly the same. So we've broken our wall. I'm the east seat. I will take 2 stacks, 4 tiles for myself. That's another place where Mahjong differs from card games. The dealer deals to themselves first in Mahjong. So I take 2 stacks, 4 tiles, and then I'm going to go around the table. So if we were self-picking, the next player would reach forward and she would grab her own tiles, but she also gets 2 stacks. So the pattern is the same whether you have a singular dealer or everyone is self-picking. Self-picking just kind of involves everyone. It takes the pressure off of a single dealer. It also means that if a tile accidentally gets flipped over and shown to the whole table, it's that player's fault and it's not like, oh, the dealer showed my tiles and now that's unfair. Okay, so we're going 2 stacks at a time around the table, and we're going to continue to do that until every player has 12 tiles. So I've now expended my wall in front of me. I'm gonna push out the next wall. And because I'm taking the tiles and handing them out to the players, I don't push these walls very far. If we had 3 other players here who were truly self-picking their own tiles, I would push it further so that everyone could reach easily without having to lean over. Okay, we've gone around the table. Every player has 12 tiles. In Mahjong, when it's not your turn, you will have 13 tiles. And when it is your turn, you'll have 14 tiles. So every player at the table will start with 13 tiles, except for the east seat, the dealer. The dealer starts with 14 tiles because it's her turn first. So a way to remember this is 1 and 3 are for me. That's my favorite mnemonic device for remembering that the first and third top tile come to the dealer. However, if that makes you feel nervous, if you just take a single tile and then deal a single tile out to everyone else at the table, you still end up with 1 and 3 are for me. You still end up with the same tiles, and everyone has 13, and I as the dealer have 14. So now we're ready to rack those tiles. That just means we're placing them into the sloped part of our rack facing us, and we're going to get organized with our tiles, and then we're going to look at our National Mahjong League card and try to choose a section to start. So that's going to be the next video. See you there. Happy Mahjong, y'all.